All right, just a few announcements for today. We're going to have a general student council meeting at lunch today in Mr. Murray's room, so please be there.
And I think there's a request for props. So like we're looking for fake fruit and stuff like that for the auction gala tomorrow. Pretty cool.
We're also looking for like a little toy sailboat, one of the masks that has to do with like the drama thing.
And yeah, and one of those like action clicker things. I don't know.
So if you know anyone who has any of those things, please kind of either talk to us or Ms. Godoy.
Yes. And also, I have this folder right here. If you like this folder, you guys should participate in the talent show on March 28th. Yes.
Next week in celebration of spring break, we're having a short spirit week.
So Monday is Tacky Tourist, Tuesday is Fashion Disaster Day, and Wednesday is Tire Day.
Eighth graders are cleaning out the lost and found next week, so get your stuff. It cries when you don't pick it up. America!
Kind of in shock. Okay, work jobs. People, please do your trash cans particularly today because a lot of crows have been getting into those and so they're overfilling. So today, do your trash cans, no exceptions. If you have a trash can, take it out.
So if you're volunteering at the auction tomorrow, there's a mandatory meeting in room 8 at lunch, so please be there.
Spanish club, please meet me at the flagpole after break today. I need to get your picture.
Also, yearbook senior pages. Your pages were due 5 days ago.
Need those.
So we need those as soon as possible. We don't want to scramble and wait for you guys to send them. So please send them as soon as possible. See, superlatives, keep sending submissions if you want to. If you want to like establish what your superlative is, you have to come find us. We're not going to find you. And third, remember yearbook members, we have a meeting today after school to have an entire session of 3 hours to work on the yearbook. So please be there if you can, and we're going to have food, so don't worry about dinner.
We're taking orders at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and fourth, there was something that I forgot to say.
Yeah!
In China, there's a famous proverb, 三思而后行. It means think thrice before making a decision. For me, making a wrong decision has always been my greatest fear, especially when these decisions I make will change my entire life. 3 years ago, I just graduated from my middle school in China. I faced two options. I could either stay in the city where I grew up, or I could go to a foreign country and study abroad. As I'm giving this speech right now, it's obvious I chose the latter. My hometown Shanghai is a gorgeous city. Neon lights, skyscrapers, tasty foods like dumplings and rice cakes, and other foods from everywhere of the world. It was quite challenging for me to leave this crazy city. But on the other hand, everything was going to be new and awesome in the United States, since it is called the land of free and home of the brave. Clearly, when I made my decision, I had no idea what would happen to me. The first couple of weeks of school was a nightmare. I had no idea what the teachers were talking about during class, so I tried to put pages of my homework into Google Translate in order to understand what it meant. And it is then I learned to never trust Google Translate. Making conversations with other classmates was overwhelming. When people asked me, hey, what's up? I would look up and stare silly for a couple of seconds. As time went on, I ran into numerous other difficulties, including making friends with weird classmates, or learning Spanish as my third language and then Latin as my fourth. When I made my decision, I had no idea all these trouble would happen, and most importantly, I would never dream that one day I was standing in a crowded room, panicking, being stared by hundreds of people, and giving this speech in my second language. If I knew this would happen one day, my decision 3 years ago would definitely be different. Another bold decision I made was joining the cross-country team. By the end of the 8th grade year, I already overcome most of the troubles I mentioned before. So I decided to try something new and challenging in the freshman year. When I saw some upperclassmen who were so enthusiastic about cross-country, I decided to join the team. Back then, I didn't know that I would get a leg cramp on the first day of practice, or my legs would ache so much that I could barely walk for a week. I once believed that I made the worst decision in my life, and even considered giving up. I still remember the meets. I will never forget the pains on my shoulders, in my stomach, and even in my head. My legs refused to move, and sweat would always soak my clothes. Breathless, I struggled to advance, and as I finally dragged my exhausted body past through the finishing line, I collapsed to the ground. But at that moment, I felt this kind of accomplishment, which I wouldn't have gained without the bold decision I made. In the past, whenever I met some difficulties or troubles, I will always wish to have a time machine so I can just go back in time and not make these stupid decisions. But I believe that sometimes making a bold decision is part of the life. Just like right now. Even though I'm so scared of this speech, I do not regret. Because I know that as soon as I finish it, all the effort I've paid will become my accomplishment. And only in that way can I prove 3 years ago I made the right choice to come to America.
York School Award Ceremony, May 29th, 2014. It was a historic day in my life. I was honored to be awarded the York Cup for my performance during the golf season. All the hours of practice with my coach and teammates truly paid off when I shot 71 even par at the CSIS qualifying tournament, tying for first place. It was one of the best rounds of golf I have ever played. However, if anyone were to ask me what my greatest achievement in golf was, it wouldn't be this one. My greatest achievement was becoming a role model for two special boys. Joseph Hwang and Ken two Korean elementary school students, were visiting the United States this past summer. My dad knew their aunt and told me that I would help them whenever my sister tutored them in English. Unfortunately, by help, he meant babysit, something I had never done before. I first met the two boys at the library. Being completely new to this babysitting business, I was initially awkward, but felt more and more comfortable as I got to know them better. Joseph, the younger one, was 7 years old. He was an exuberant and adventurous child who often tried to climb my back. He had oversized, bulky white glasses that masked his eyes, and he was as skinny as a chopstick. Ken, who was 10 years old, was almost the complete opposite of his younger cousin. Both shy and reserved, he was as plump as a dumpling and wore thin, tiny spectacle-like glasses. One day, I decided to take them to a golf course. I thought that it would be interesting for them to try something new, and golf is something that I am comfortable with teaching to younger children.
As
soon as we arrived at the golf course, I led them to the practice range so that I can show them the basics of swinging. I let them borrow my golf clubs that I used when I was their age. Then I demonstrated how to hit a ball. First, I performed my pre-shot setup ritual. Then lock, load, and fire. I swung. As soon as the club head made contact with the ball, I heard a loud wah behind me. I turned to see both Joseph and Ken staring at me with eyes the size of golf balls. Their jaws dropped to the ground in amazement. The fact that something so little could go such a long distance amazed them. After seeing me hit the ball, they began to respect me much more. In the car ride home, they endlessly chatted about wanting to play golf and becoming as good as me someday. Whenever they saw me, they greeted me by hopping up and down, waving furiously to catch my attention. Wherever I went, they followed me like ducklings following a mother duck. Sharing my passion for golf with Joseph and Ken has helped shape my belief and inspiration, but more importantly, it made me believe in myself. At the moment when I sparked their interest in golf, they saw me as their role model, me, an awkward first-time babysitter who was only a few years older than them. Seeing them want to do something that I love and trying to take after me filled me with confidence and joy. That was the greatest round of golf I've ever played.
Welcome to another great day in York School, the land of the cool and the home of the Falcons. Because sports played a role in both of those great speeches, it's particularly nice for me to get to segue into a little announcement that Mr. Peters asked me to make, and I'm happy to make, because one of the things I enjoy most about break is the opportunity to recognize student achievement. So, we have the results of the designation of some of our students and our athletes in the MTAL Coastal Division. So I'm going to read these by this long list, which is why I have to have it up here. I couldn't memorize this all. I'll read them by teams, and you can applaud by teams. So girls soccer athletes who made the second team or honorable mention for the league: Ellie Newman, Jerry Perkle, Jesse Lyons, and Maddie Jewell. Girls basketball, who also were second team or honorable mention: Paulina Cobb and Katie Ishizui. And boys basketball in the same category: Quinn Murphy and Joseph Reed. An even longer list: first team all-league. Ready? Girls soccer. First team, great season: Lambie Krieger, Audrey Musto, Lucy Ziccarelli, and Laura Bowman. Boys soccer, also first team all-league: Wyatt Stade, Ryan Dishlog, and Will Calciano. Boys basketball first team: Colton Rod and John Twasijan. And a particular source of pride for a school, York, that cares deeply about values, the honesty and respect and responsibility that we talk about in here all the time, manifested in sportsmanship. The highest award given in this league for sportsmanship is named after a former commissioner of the league, and the LG Belizio Sportsmanship Award in boys basketball went to Kevin Ng.
Bonjour. I want to introduce dancer and choreographer extraordinaire Deanna Ross, who's going to talk to you guys about health fitness.
I'm here today to tell you about my plans for the spring section of Health and Fitness Dance. I'm going to try something a little different, and I'm going to focus on dance for theater. So if you're thinking about potentially auditioning for the fall musical, this is going to be a great opportunity to work on your auditioning skills. I'm going to hold the class as a series of mock auditions, where when we first learn a piece of movement, you'll come in and you'll get to see it just a few times and learn it as quickly as you can, so working on that sequence memory, and then performing it for me, and then I can give you some feedback as if it was a real audition. And then after that, we'll break down the sequences so that you can learn the steps really thoroughly and build your dance technique. So again, trying something a little bit different, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope to see lots of you there. And if you have any questions, you can talk to me. It's Tuesday, Thursdays, yep. And you can talk to me or Mr. Daniel or Mrs. Rees. Thanks. If you're going on the trip to Italy and Greece during spring break, could you please make sure that your parents can get into the EF Tours website? There have been a couple of minor changes to the hotels we're staying in from a few weeks ago, so we want your parents to know where you're going to be. Second thing regarding that is those who signed up to go in a van to San Francisco Airport, we're meeting at 9:30 a.m. on that Thursday right after the first day off from school on the 12th. And I'll post a list of who's going in the vans on that. And if you're not going on the trip to Italy and Greece, it's a great time to get some service done. So there's lots of opportunities posted on Haiku. If you want to volunteer at an elementary school, please see me and I'll help you get that arranged. It could be just a couple of hours. Let me know today if you want some help getting things like that arranged. Thanks.
Type your name out. Please meet outside the chapel after break for a quick photo. Thanks.
An important technique for better understanding complex systems that's often used is called mathematical modeling. And we have an interesting opportunity here to form teams to join a competition on mathematical modeling. So there is an internationally recognized high school competition in mathematical modeling that involves teams of up to 4 students working on a posed problem and putting together a solution and submitting that. It's a very prestigious competition, and we are fortunate enough to have a York parent who has coached teams in this competition for almost a decade and is a judge in the international evaluation of these submitted results. And Mr. Robert Burks, who is employed at the Naval Postgraduate School, will be here today at 11:30 at lunch in my room, room 20, to talk to students that might be interested in that and try to form a club that would then meet regularly and join the competition when it occurs in the fall. Unfortunately, since it occurs in the fall, seniors would not be here anymore, so I'm focusing my attention here and hoping that many of those out there that might be interested in this kind of a mathematical competition from all the grades up through the junior year would come to my room at lunch and check it out and learn about it. It's not a commitment in any way, but we'd love to see a good-sized group there to greet Mr. Burks and to hear about the competition, so I hope to see you there.
Good afternoon. My name is Ted. I'm a personification of the world's fastest growing forum for ideas worth sharing, specifically those ideas related to technology, education, and design. I'm very excited to announce that this spring York School will be hosting a TEDx event, and applications for students who would like to spread an idea worth sharing at this event are due this Sunday. Please go to yorkschool.org/TEDx app, and we are looking forward to looking at your submissions. More news about the event to follow. Thank you.
You're a senior who is thinking of doing any kind of theater when you get into college. This would be a good thing to do so that you can practice your dancing. If you are somebody who wants to dance with another person at some point in your life, this would be a good thing to do. We are glad you made the decision that you made, and we are proud of you. Snack chat today in my office, 11:30. If you have anything you want to say, I hope that was 10 seconds.
Okay.
sorry. I remembered. So actors of the winter play. Don't worry about your scripts. I won't be collecting them, so sorry.
One more thing before we go. I just really want to say thank you to all the faculty and staff members who played kickball with us. It's those types of moments that really kind of bring our community together. I just want to say thank you so much.